Hello, Prim Friends. I want to welcome you back to our channel, A Cape on the Corner at Tweedthistle Farms. And I wanted to do a quick run through again on this booth. I know that people were a bit disappointed that some of the items were not able to be shipped. And it's hard to see eye candy and then not be able to necessarily always get it. Well, for the most part, videos that I'm going to be doing will be in shops from around our area here in Ohio that do predominantly carry primitive items. But this booth, this is my booth. This is Tweedthistle Primitives, and I do ship smalls. Unless the item is too fragile or often the stoneware pieces, I'm just not comfortable with shipping those and having them potentially get damaged. Other than that, though, if you see a small that catches your eye, just let me know. So we'll go ahead and do another walkthrough. I hope you will like and subscribe to our channel. I have a surprise coming up and I'll tell you about here as we close up on this video here in a little bit. But I do have another surprise and I'll tell you about that here at the end. Seville Antiques, which is where Tweedthistle Primitives is located. We are at 14 Milton Street in Seville, Ohio. Seville is about 40 minutes south of Cleveland and about an hour and a half away from the northern part of Columbus. So we are a wonderful road trip destination. There's some nice hotels in the area. I can't say enough good things about the Westfield Inn. That's only about 8 minutes from here. It is not a bed and breakfast, but it almost acts like one. It's a small boutique hotel and just really lovely. Friends of ours stayed there a couple weekends ago and had just wonderful things to say about it. So I'm just going to peruse around the shop. I know I had done this once not too long ago, but I was not holding the camera correctly. And try as I might to be able to get the black bars to disappear when it was posted. That was operator error. So I'm going to walk around the shop here at Tweedthistle Primitives and give you another run through. If you didn't maybe stay to the end on the last one because of those annoying thin screen and black bars, that was why. That was me. We have a nice ladder back chair there with a wooden bowl and our little logo on the front. There's some dried grasses, prairie grass there for putting in the bowls and things when you're doing a display. I've got an idea for this wall. We have a Christmas open house that will happen on November 19th. We have 39 dealers here in the shop. And most, if not all of the dealers are usually here for the Christmas open house. There's a feather tree fence there. So we have all of these dealers that will be here on that day and we bring out all the stops. So that is a wonderful day to come and shop at Seville Antiques. Gleaner Antiques, that is down in Ashland. We're advertising together. That is another wonderful shop that you're not climbing over, mid-century modern and other type pieces to find this primitive and the early American kind of style that we're looking for. They have wonderful booths there as well. Great dealers. This is a fun piece that I've got here. It is a little old, I don't know, I guess you call that a chuck wagon. So maybe that was somebody's dad that put that together for a child for Christmas, but that's a neat piece, a little old piece of folk art. We've got some, candy mold there, a bunny rabbit with the basket on the back, but a nice, unusual small size. A daguerreotype. That one has a lot of accents of gold in the pocket watch and the necklace, if I remember correctly on that one. Some pottery pieces. A little child's toy step back cabinet, and then some old pieces of pewter there. And then this desk, tiger maple, which tiger maple is so special to me. I just love it. And this one has some really wide dovetails. The drawers are chamfered. Nice old hardware. And then I just love those little drawers on the inside. The gentleman that I bought it from told me that it had been in the family since it had been made. And there's just been so much going on in our life with the move and everything else. I just don't recall, but I thought he said that the family came from Rhode Island. I thought that's what he said. I'm not 100% positive. It's not my wheelhouse specifically to know the origins of furniture. I'll be the first one to tell you what my limitations are. But I loved it. I loved the fact that it had been off the market until I found it, and until they were ready to let it go. And that's a sweet little piece there with another little piece of folk art. That's a fun one that at holidays, fill it, especially at Easter, fill it with some eggs or some big Easter items. The big German paper mache eggs would be sweet in there. Have it on a centerpiece on your dining room table. And some old twig furniture. Love that. There's some bundles of grasses, things that are accessories. Also, I try to keep those in the booth and keep them timely to the season. Again, Christmas is coming, so there'll be some surprises for that. That is a tobacco stick in the back with the old hooks where they would have hung the tobacco from the upper lofts of the barns to dry them. She needs some more clothes, but we do have a pattern and some have the actual linen in them also for the crossover back aprons. Nice step back. I love the color of that step back. It's just a warm glow. One of the things I really like to collect, you can kind of tell where where a dealer's heart is or what they're drawn to, is by the items that they carry in their booth. And one of the things that I really like are the pieces that would have been used on a daily basis or close to a daily basis. And I know I mentioned in the other video that I had sideways. I'm going to have to let that go eventually. We all learn, right? So one of the things that I really like is we'll sometimes look at pieces like this and say, oh gosh, maybe there's a flaw in the pottery or in the finish there. But actually what that is, you'll notice it will match up with your fingers. And it would have been where the potter held the piece to dip it in the finish. So it actually carries his fingerprints. It carries his hand. So those aren't flaws when you see them. Those are actually, to me, those are what tells the story of the piece. It tells you that it was made by hand. That's something I just really like. And this sweet little child's chair. That'd be fun to put a special doll or a teddy bear or something like that in it. And here are a couple of special hooked rugs. These are hooked with very good quality wool, and they are hooked into a linen backing. If you think about how long, often when you are choosing a hooked rug, if you are buying a piece of art for yourself, if the piece is hooked onto burlap, you have to think about the lifespan of that piece. How long will it last? Is it a legacy piece? A hooked rug that is hooked into linen will last generations. If it's cared for properly, doesn't get wet, it will last for generations. You know, if you think about the mummies in Egypt, the mummies were wrapped in linen. And think how long that lasted, that fabric was still pliable. But burlap, especially if it gets wet, burlap will just disintegrate. It is a disposable, compostable material. It will not last for generations. So yes, a rug that is hooked on linen will be more expensive, but there's a very good reason for it, and it will last for a very long time, if not forever. We can only hope, right? Especially when we're putting all that work into doing these rugs. And I have a very special rug hooker that does the rugs for our shop. So there's a couple of flax combs there in the corner, and I think it was wheat thrasher. Now I'm curious. Yeah, an early hay flail. A hay flail. They used it to bring the hay in and bring it down. We've got a large grinding wheel, and then this Mammy's bench. I can say 100% this Mammy's bench has been off the market for, goodness, the last 28 years. That was bought before my oldest was born. So, yep, I think it's time for a new home. We've got a couple of old trivets there too, and some neat iron pieces. If you have a kitchen fireplace or something like that. Nice Staffordshire chalkware piece, and then the doorstop. I like the divided boxes. That's something that I like to collect. As a rug hooker myself, I like to put the various strips of the cut wool in the different compartments, and then move it on to the next one, and you pull it from that little compartment as you're going with what you're working on. There's a neat little cradle there. Nice size. I can just see that filled with gourds at Thanksgiving time, greens at Christmas. Put a nice feather tree in it. Packages, just something different than a dough bowl, maybe on your dining room or kitchen table, if you have enough space. And it'd be easy enough to pick up and move off when you need that room. There's a little old black chair and a large kitchen mason jar or a store jar filled with nutmegs. And nutmegs are nice to drill through and then turn into garlands. And nutmegs are supposed to be considered good luck, and so they're a garland of nutmegs is a nice gift to give to a new homeowner or maybe a new married couple. We had a nice divided box there on the wall with a leather strap. Paula, I hope it's got a nice home with you. I'd love to see a picture. This is an old tavern table, and it does have a drawer and the stretcher bottom. And this one, I know when I purchased this, the lady that sold it had said that they bought it in New York, and it was a New York tavern table. Nice little countertop desk. I have one of these myself at home. I know my mom and dad do as well. It's just nice to keep your calendar, maybe cell phones, things like that on your kitchen counter. Keep them a little bit out of the way, organized, but not all over everywhere. And then a cupboard full of newer pewter, vintage pewter pieces. So if you have a set or have parts of a set, or you want to expand on that, we have loads of it. The bowls, the sugars, the special bowls to make chili, or oh my goodness, I could just see French onion soup in some of those. And a sugar cone. So I have done a demonstration for doing sugar cones in the past through Facebook, but I was thinking about doing one as a video on YouTube. So let me know if you'd be interested in seeing a YouTube video on how to do the sugar cones. And I have recently discovered a little bit of a trick in an ingredient that you add to the sugar, and it makes all the difference in the world. So let me know if that's something you might be interested in seeing, a quick video tutorial on how to do those. Those are really nice to have on the table at the holidays. There's a white Villa tin. And some nice painted baskets. Those came from the workshops of David T. Smith from probably 25 or 30 years ago, I think. Here's a nice number 12 bee sting crock in really nice shape. That is most definitely something that I will not ship. Just the stoneware, the weight, is just too much of a risk, and it's not worth it to me to have it arrive broken and someone brokenhearted. And there's a neat cobbler's shoe last, already affixed to the post. It'd be fun on a side porch somewhere, maybe ours at some point. Just a fun little accessory. And the shoe part does come off. So there are others you may find along the way that are, clearly a woman's shoe or even a child's shoe, and that could be interchanged with that base. And on the other side, there's a nice dough box on legs. And this is an old painted door that I had in my own personal collection. I don't know, I have a thing for doors that are unique. And this one most definitely is, with that painted mustard. And it is painted in that red and mustard on both sides, actually. So you can kind of tell from the condition of the finish, like one was indoors and one was outdoors. And the hinges are on there as well. Some old blocks. And some stone fruit, including a couple of ladybugs. Ladybugs in Germany are considered good luck. So I love finding those. They're very hard to find. I've only found a couple in my lifetime, so that's a rare piece. We've got a couple of strawberries there in the bowl. And some larger pieces as well, and the grapes. Stickers, price tag stickers, do not like to stay on those. So if you are in the area, like I said, we are at 14 Milton Street in Seville, Ohio. This booth, my booth, I am happy to ship smalls. We have some some of the concrete pumpkins that I had shown how to create with the railroad spikes in them. And this is a old hardware store piece divider. It's got the numbers actually impressed or embossed into the front of it. I hope the color actually comes across well on the video. It's almost a teal green, kind of a bluish green. All right. So yes, you can. These items are all available to be shipped. Oh, here's something that's a little bit different you don't see very often. I do have 3 old pieces of the punched tin available too. So if you have a cupboard that needs a tin, we have 3 of those here. Or if you want to do something with them, or just put a candle light in front of it, or a little flicker candle, they're kind of fun that way too. Some little mischievous mice. These are, it's clearly new, but they're little wall clings, and there's several different designs. Just love those. Our logo are 2 little mice sitting in a thistle. So those are sweet. If you have a mouse hole in a cupboard, they're kind of cute to put in the corner of that little mouse hole. In fact, I just realized I do have one here. So it makes it look like the mouse is peeking out from a mouse hole. And they're sweet. You can put it on your wall and they'll peel right back off again. And then you can peel them and put them somewhere else. So they're just a cute little accent. So I did mention something about a surprise. So I am going to be doing another video also coming up in the next couple of days from Gleaner Antiques in Ashland. So keep watching. I will be posting that one. I have to record it first, but I'll be posting that one in the next few days as well. So they also ship. So I hear you loud and clear when you're looking for, when you see all this eye candy and then you want to have it show up at your door. I get it. I feel the same. Whoops. I feel the same way. So if you have any questions or comments, please, it was very helpful to us when you comment down below. Like and subscribe, share with your prim-loving friends, and keep watching. I do have lots of ideas coming for more videos. Take care, keep hunting. What was your most recent find? Have a good one.